Chosen one, God heard what they said when your name was not protected, when your heart was not represented, and when people spoke with confidence about a story they never carried with honesty. He heard the accusation, the exaggeration, the missing context, and the quiet intention behind every word. You were not guided into this moment by accident. This is divine confirmation that your case has already reached a higher court. Type Amen in the comments if you needed to hear that today. Drop 444 below if you know God was present in every room where your name was spoken without permission. You have been tempted to explain yourself, to correct the room, to defend your character, to make someone finally understand what really happened. But this is the word you need to hear before you answer from pain. Do not interrupt what God has already taken into his hands. Your silence is not weakness, it is positioning. It is the moment you stop begging human opinion to become fair and start trusting God to become your witness. Type positioned in the comments. Drop I trust you as a declaration below if you are choosing to let God step into the room you could not enter. They may have spoken your name in rooms you never entered, but God was present in every room. They may have shaped a version of you that sounded convincing, but your fruit will become louder than their story. Stay silent and watch. God is not only defending your name, he is defending the person he is forming in you. And before you move on, listen carefully. This message is not here to stir up anger. It is not here to make you hate anyone. This message is here to pull you out of the noise before the noise pulls you out of alignment. Because what happened to you was not small. When people speak about you without honor, something in the soul feels violated. It is not only the words that hurt. It is the feeling that someone touched your name without permission. It is the feeling that your intentions were edited. Your heart was simplified. Your past was used without context, and your silence was treated like guilt. You may have asked yourself, should I say something? Should I show the proof? Should I tell everyone what really happened? Should I finally stop being the bigger person and let them feel the weight of the truth? And God is not ignoring those questions. He knows you are tired of being misread. He knows you are tired of being calm while other people are loud. He knows you are tired of carrying the full story while people who know only pieces speak as if they know the whole book. But there is something God wants you to understand before you respond. He did not only hear the words they said, he heard the spirit behind the words. He heard the jealousy hiding under concern. He heard the control hiding under advice. He heard the bitterness hiding under a joke. He heard the judgment hiding under prayer. He heard the insecurity hiding under criticism. He heard the private satisfaction some people felt when they thought your name had been lowered. Type Amen if God just exposed what was really beneath those words. Drop He heard in the comments if you know God was present even in the conversations that were kept from you. And because God heard the intention, you do not have to exhaust yourself proving the motive. There is a kind of pain that comes when someone says the right words with the wrong heart. On the surface, it sounds harmless. They say they are only worried about you. They say they are only telling the truth. They say they are only sharing what they heard. They say they are only trying to understand. But your spirit knows when a conversation is not clean. Your spirit knows when concern has turned into control. Your spirit knows when curiosity has turned into collecting evidence. Your spirit knows when someone is no longer asking to understand you, but asking to build a case against you. And this is why God allowed certain things to come back to your ears, not to torment you, not to make you paranoid, not to make you chase every voice and correct every sentence. He allowed you to hear enough so you would stop giving sacred access to people who were not treating your name as sacred, because sometimes the wound is also a warning. Sometimes the conversation you were not invited into becomes the confirmation you needed. Sometimes what broke your trust also saved your future. Sometimes God lets the wrong words surface so you can finally stop handing your peace to the wrong people. Type I see it now in the comments. Drop protected below If what felt like a wound is now beginning to look like God moving the wrong access out of your story. Chosen one, this is where you must be careful, because when your name has been mishandled, your first instinct may be to defend it with force. You want to enter the room. You want to gather the evidence. You want to explain every missing detail. You want to make them feel what they made you feel. But the real battle is not only what they said. The real battle is what their words are trying to pull out of you, because accusation often comes with a hidden trap. It is designed to pull you out of character. It is designed to make you react from the wound instead of respond from wisdom. They say you are difficult, and then they provoke you until you act difficult. They say you are unstable, and then they disturb your peace until you speak from pain. They say you are the problem, and then they push every old button until the old version of you tries to come back. But God is saying, do not return to the version of yourself that He already delivered you from. Do not let their misunderstanding become your master. Drop delivered below if that just settles something real in your spirit. The version they described no longer has your forwarding address. There was a time when you would have over-explained. There was a time when you would have begged to be believed. There was a time when one cold look, one twisted sentence, one hidden conversation could steal your entire day, your entire sleep, your entire sense of peace. But that version of you was tired. That version of you was surviving. That version of you believed that being understood by people was the same as being safe. Now God is teaching you a deeper safety, the safety of being seen by Him, the safety of knowing your heart is not on trial in every human court, the safety of realizing that some rooms do not deserve your defense because they never deserved your access. This is why your silence matters right now. Not every silence is holy. Sometimes silence is fear. Sometimes silence is avoidance. Sometimes silence is a refusal to take accountability. But that is not the silence God is forming in you. The silence God is forming in you is different. It is not the silence of someone who has nothing to say. It is the silence of someone who refuses to bleed in the wrong room. It is not the silence of guilt. It is the silence of wisdom. It is not the silence of defeat. It is the silence of someone who knows that God has already stepped between them and the accusation. Type "wrong room" in the comments if that sentence just described exactly where you are standing right now. Drop "positioned" if you know that staying silent in this season is not surrender. It is strategy, and I hear this strongly for someone. God heard what they said when you were not there. He heard the part they exaggerated. He heard the part they left out. He heard the way they used your past to explain away your growth. He heard the way they made your boundaries sound like pride. He heard the way they made your healing sound like distance. He heard the way they made your obedience sound like arrogance. And He is not confused about you. People may be confused. God is not. He has the unedited version. Every missing piece, every stripped context, every truth that never made it into the room. And if you have been carrying that file alone, the link in the description or the pinned comment is where you can plant something into this mission today. Bring with it the part they left out, the version of you that never got to speak. Lay it down inside what you release. What leaves your hand in faith does not leave your story. It moves ahead of you into the clearing God is already making on the other side. So before you defend yourself, ask this inside your spirit. Am I about to speak because truth is calling me, or because pain is pushing me? Am I about to answer because God is leading me, or because anxiety is begging me to fix how people see me? Am I about to bring peace into the room, or am I about to hand my power to the very thing that tried to disturb me? That question will save you, because some words are not wrong, but the timing is wrong. Some truth is real, but the tone is wounded. Some explanations are accurate, but the room is unworthy. And when the room is unworthy, even truth can be wasted. Do not cast your whole heart into a place that only wants fragments. Do not give your sacred explanation to people who are only looking for material. Do not turn your pain into a performance for those who enjoy seeing you defend your dignity. God is not asking you to lose your voice. He is teaching you where your voice belongs. There will be a time to speak. There will be a time to clarify. There will be a time to set a boundary with clean words and steady strength. But there is also a time to let silence do what speech cannot do. Silence can reveal who is comfortable with a lie. Silence can reveal who comes to you directly and who only speaks around you. Silence can reveal who misses your presence and who only misses your reaction. Silence can reveal who wanted reconciliation and who only wanted access. And this is one of the ways God is fighting for you. He is not only answering what was said, He is showing you who was willing to believe it. That may hurt, but it is protection, because your next season cannot be built with people who secretly celebrate your confusion. Your next assignment cannot be carried by people who need you small so they can feel secure. Your next level of peace cannot survive in rooms where your name is handled carelessly and your heart is treated like common information. God is rearranging the room. Some people are being moved back. Some people are being revealed. Some connections are losing the power they once had over your emotions. Some voices that used to control your mood are becoming strangely quiet in your spirit, not because you are cold, because you are becoming clear, not because you hate them, because you are finally seeing the cost of giving unlimited access to people with limited honor. This is not about revenge. This is about discernment. You can wish someone well and still refuse to carry their version of you into your future. And yes, that may bring guilt. You may feel guilty for pulling away. You may feel guilty for not explaining as much as you used to. You may feel guilty for becoming less available, less reactive, less easy to access. You may feel guilty because people who benefited from your overextension will call your peace selfish. But listen carefully. Boundaries are not betrayal. Distance is not cruelty. Silence is not hatred. You are allowed to outgrow rooms that only knew how to hold the wounded version of you. You are allowed to protect what God is building in you. You are allowed to stop handing your inner life to people who use it without reverence. You are allowed to let God defend you without you becoming loud, bitter, or desperate. And you do not owe anyone an apology for becoming harder to manipulate. This is part of your formation. God is not only trying to clear your reputation, He is trying to strengthen your spirit. Because if He defended your name, but left you addicted to human approval, the next accusation would still control you. If He exposed every lie, but left you needing every person to understand you, the next misunderstanding would still break you. If He silenced every mouth around you, but did not heal the fear inside you, the next whisper would still feel like a storm. So God is going deeper. He is not only fighting the words spoken against you, He is fighting the part of you that still believes your peace depends on being believed by everyone. He is fighting the old wound that makes you chase people who already showed you they do not value the truth. He is fighting the pattern that makes you abandon your assignment every time someone misreads your heart. This is why the battle feels internal and external at the same time. On the outside, people may be talking, but on the inside, God is rebuilding your authority. He is teaching you to stand without applause. He is teaching you to keep walking without permission. He is teaching you to let your life answer slowly, steadily, and cleanly. And if you stay with this message until the end, you are going to receive something very important. You are going to understand how God defends you without needing you to destroy anyone. You are going to learn when silence is wisdom and when speech is necessary. You are going to see how your fruit becomes louder than their accusation. And you are going to be guided into a release where you stop carrying the case in your own hands and place it where it belongs. Because this is not only about what they said, this is about who you are becoming after they said it. They expected you to collapse, but you are becoming steady. They expected you to argue, but you are becoming disciplined. They expected you to chase the room, but you are becoming free from the room. They expected you to prove yourself, but God is teaching you to be rooted without permission, and that is dangerous to every lie spoken against you, because a lie can survive against your explanation for a while, but it cannot survive against your fruit forever. A false story can move quickly, but it cannot carry the weight of truth forever. A rumor can sound convincing in the beginning, but it cannot produce what God produces in a life that remains clean. This is what happened to Joseph. They threw him into a pit. They sold him. They carried one version of the story back home. For years, Joseph was not present to defend himself. He could not enter the room and correct every lie. He could not sit his father down and explain every betrayal. He had to live through a season where the truth was known by God before it was known by people. But Joseph did not let betrayal turn him into the same spirit that betrayed him. He kept becoming. He kept serving. He kept carrying the gift. He kept allowing God to form him in places that looked unfair. And when the time came, Joseph did not need to chase the room. God brought the room to him. Type "He brought the room" in the comments if that just landed in your spirit. Drop Joseph's season below if you know that what looks unfair right now is still being written by the one who writes all things well. That is how divine defense often works. Not always instantly, not always loudly, not always the way the wounded part of you wants, but surely God knows how to let time testify. God knows how to let fruit speak. God knows how to let your consistency expose what your mouth never had to fight. So do not despise the hidden season where you are being misunderstood. Do not assume God is absent because he has not corrected the room yet. Do not think heaven is passive because the rumor still has a voice. There are conversations God has interrupted that you will never know about. There are doors he has protected from the influence of people who tried to close them. There are hearts he has warned quietly. There are connections he has removed because they were attached to the wrong version of your story. You think nothing is happening because you cannot hear it. But silence in heaven is not absence. Sometimes it is preparation. Sometimes it is strategy. Sometimes it is the pause before God lets your life answer so clearly that you no longer need to argue. And this is where your mind has to become clear, because when you are under accusation, your thoughts can become loud. You replay conversations. You imagine what they said. You prepare speeches you may never give. You build arguments in your head. You try to defend yourself internally all day long, even when your mouth is quiet. So the world sees silence, but inside you there is still a courtroom. Inside you the case is still open. Inside you, you are still presenting evidence to people who are not even present. For now, remember this. God heard what they said. God saw what it did to you. God knows what it cost you not to respond from pain. And God is not only defending your name in rooms you cannot enter. He is forming a version of you that no rumor can control. No accusation can destabilize, and no false story can define. So stay silent, stay clean, stay close to God. The case is not closed. It is just no longer in your hands. Because this is where many people lose the victory. They say they trust God, but they keep returning to the mental courtroom. They keep replaying the conversation. They keep imagining what they should have said. They keep preparing explanations for people who may never come to them with a clean heart. Their mouth is silent, but their mind is still arguing. Their body is still waiting for the next accusation. Their spirit is still standing in front of people trying to prove it is innocent. Chosen one, that is the part God wants to free you from now. Because God's defense does not always look like the public exposure of everyone who hurt you. Sometimes, God defends you by keeping you from becoming bitter. Sometimes, He defends you by removing your need to be believed by people who are not qualified to judge you. Sometimes, He defends you by making your peace stronger than their opinion. Sometimes, He defends you by closing a door that would have kept you trapped in a room where your name was never safe. If you only look for punishment, you may miss protection. If you only look for exposure, you may miss elevation. If you only look for an apology, you may miss the way God is returning your authority back to you. This is why you must not measure God's movement by how loud the correction is. Heaven does not always defend with thunder. Sometimes heaven defends with timing. Sometimes heaven defends with distance. Sometimes heaven defends with fruit. Sometimes heaven defends by letting the wrong people lose access before they can follow you into the next season. Type "not for punishment" in the comments if you are willing to let God define what defense looks like. Drop elevation if you can release the need for it to be loud, public, and immediate. And that may not satisfy the wounded part of you at first. The wounded part of you wants them to know. The wounded part of you wants the room to turn around. The wounded part of you wants someone to finally say, "You were right. You were telling the truth. You were not the one who created the confusion." And God is not condemning you for wanting that. It is human to want your name cleared. It is human to want the whole story heard. It is human to want the people who judged you from fragments to finally feel the weight of what they did. But your healing cannot depend on the speed of their understanding. Your peace cannot wait for their apology. Your calling cannot pause until every mouth is corrected, because if your purpose waits for your reputation to be perfectly understood by everyone, then the wrong people will always have the power to delay your obedience. And God did not bring you this far for your next step to be controlled by people who mishandled your last season. This is the moment where silence begins to feel unfair. At first, silence feels holy. It feels mature. It feels like strength. But after a while, if the lie keeps moving, if people keep acting differently, if the room keeps feeling cold, if you keep hearing fragments of what was said, silence can start to feel like punishment. You may think, "God, why am I the one staying quiet when they were the ones speaking carelessly? Why am I the one holding peace when they were the ones disturbing it? Why am I the one being tested when they were the ones who twisted the story?" And this is where the deeper wisdom begins. God is not asking you to stay silent because what happened does not matter. He is asking you to stay surrendered because what happened matters too much for you to handle it from pain. There is a difference between speaking from truth and speaking from injury. There is a difference between setting a boundary and trying to win a trial. There is a difference between clarifying with peace and defending with panic. You are not forbidden to speak. You are being trained to speak from the right place. So, before you answer anyone, let your spirit pass through 3 gates. The first gate is truth. Ask yourself inside, is what I am about to say clean, whole, and honest, or has pain added something to it? Because pain can take a true thing and sharpen it until it becomes a weapon. Pain can take a real memory and wrap it in accusation. Pain can take your desire for justice and mix it with the desire to wound back. The second gate is timing. Ask yourself, is this the appointed moment? Or am I only trying to calm the anxiety inside me? Some conversations are necessary, but not every necessary conversation is necessary today. Sometimes wisdom waits, not because it is afraid, but because it refuses to let urgency become its master. The third gate is tone. Ask yourself, can I say this without becoming what hurt me? Can I speak truth without losing tenderness? Can I set a boundary without hatred? Can I tell the truth in a way that still honors who God is forming me to be? If your words cannot pass through truth, timing, and tone, then wait. Not forever. Not for assigning your name to something your spirit never agreed with. Type, "I will wait" in the comments if wisdom is already holding your tongue. Drop truth gate below if those 3 questions just changed how you see your next response. This is why Jesus could stand before accusers and not answer every charge. His silence was not emptiness. It was authority. He did not need to correct every distorted voice because he knew who he was before the Father. He knew the verdict of heaven before the verdict of men. He knew that not every accusation deserves equal access to your breath, and this is why David refused to become Saul in order to escape Saul. David had opportunities to strike back. He had moments where revenge would have looked justified, but he understood something many people miss. If you use the spirit of your enemy to defeat your enemy, you may win the moment and lose yourself. God is not only interested in what you survive, He is interested in what you become while surviving it. This is the revelation that changes everything. Your fruit will become God's answer. Not your argument, not your panic, not your long explanation to people who already decided what they wanted to believe. Your fruit, the peace you carry after being provoked, will answer. The doors God opens after people tried to close them will answer. The consistency of your character after your name was attacked will answer. The way you keep building, keep serving, keep healing, keep walking, keep becoming will answer. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, plant a seed, give a coffee, or become a part of this community. Someone is sitting tonight in the exact weight you just walked through. They have not found language for it yet. What you plant today becomes the voice that reaches them before they give up. There are people who expected the accusation to make you smaller, but God is going to make you steadier. There are people who expected the rumor to slow your purpose, but God is going to make your obedience clearer. There are people who expected the misunderstanding to make you bitter, but God is going to make your heart cleaner. There are people who expected you to disappear into shame, but God is going to let your life carry a quiet evidence that cannot be easily denied. This is not about showing off. This is not about proving you are better than anyone. This is not about waiting for people to regret what they said. This is about becoming so rooted in God that the story they told no longer has the authority to define your movement. Your fruit will speak in places your mouth never entered. Your peace will speak in rooms where your name was mishandled. Your growth will speak to people who only remembered your wounded season. Your obedience will speak louder than their edited version of you. And when God lets fruit speak, it does not have to shout. Fruit does not argue with the soil. It simply grows. Fruit does not explain itself to the branch. It simply appears in season. Fruit does not chase the mouth that doubted the seed. It simply becomes visible when the time is right. That is what God is doing with you. He is making your life visible in the right season, to the right people, for the right reason. And this is why you must not abandon your assignment just because your name is under attack. Do not stop building because someone misunderstood you. Do not stop praying because someone mocked your sincerity. Do not stop healing because someone preferred the broken version of you. Do not stop becoming because someone is committed to describing who you used to be. God is not waiting for everyone to approve you before He moves you. God can open a door while people are still talking. God can send help while people are still judging. God can restore peace while people are still confused. God can lift you while someone is still trying to explain why you should stay low. No rumor has authority over divine provision. No accusation has authority over your assignment. No edited story has authority over the name God calls you by. But you must guard the place where fruit grows. You must guard your inner field because accusation creates noise. It creates mental noise, emotional noise, spiritual noise. You may not be speaking outwardly, but inwardly. You may be rehearsing, defending, proving, replaying, predicting, preparing. And if you are not careful, their words can occupy the space where God's voice was meant to rest. This is where you need a different kind of discipline. Inside your mind, imagine a table. On that table are the voices you have been carrying. Not the people themselves, but the voices. The accusation, the misunderstanding, the fake concern, the cold silence, the sentence that kept replaying in your head. Now, without moving your body, without needing to write anything down, begin separating those voices into two places. In one place put every voice that brings clarity, humility, truth, correction, peace, and wisdom. In the other place put every voice that brings confusion, panic, shame, performance, revenge, and exhaustion. Do not judge them with hatred. Just separate them with discernment. This is the inner ledger of peace. You are not asking, "Who do I hate?" You are asking, what voice has God assigned to shape me, and what voice has only been draining me? You are not asking, "Who can I punish?" You are asking, what access must change so my peace can live? Some voices may need less access. Some conversations may need slower responses. Some rooms may need your absence. Some people may need your forgiveness, but not your closeness. Some explanations may need to remain between you and God, because the person asking is not really seeking truth. Let this become clear inside you. Not everything that demands your response deserves your response. Not everyone who questions you deserves your emotional labor. Not every room that mentions your name deserves your presence. And not every accusation is an assignment. Type "not my assignment" in the comments right now. Drop "released" below if that sentence just took something off your shoulders. You did not realize you were still carrying. That sentence is for someone. Not every accusation is an assignment. Let that settle deep in your spirit. Because if you treat every accusation like an assignment, you will spend your life working for your wounds, instead of walking with God. You will abandon your calling to manage opinions. You will lose your morning peace to answer a midnight rumor. You will let people who do not carry your purpose control the energy that belongs to your purpose. But that season is ending. God is teaching you to choose your inner atmosphere. God is teaching you to let the wrong voices pass by without becoming the director of your day. God is teaching you to stop letting someone else's confusion become your emergency. Now, come back to the deeper truth. God has the case. God has the timing. God has the room. God has your name, and now He is asking you to release the file inside your imagination. See your name written on a sealed case file. See every sentence spoken against you placed inside it. Every misunderstanding, every exaggeration, every private conversation, every moment you wanted to explain but had no safe place to speak. Every tear you swallowed. Every night you replayed the story. Every time you wondered if God saw. Now, see yourself placing that case file into the hands of God. Do not throw it. Do not grip it. Do not reopen it to check the evidence one more time. Just place it there. And in your spirit, say this: God, I release the need to be understood by those committed to misunderstanding me. I release the urge to defend myself from panic. I release the pain of being misrepresented. I release the rooms where my name was mishandled. I release the people who only knew the version of me that was still wounded. I release the inner argument. I release the mental courtroom. I trust you with my name. I trust you with my story. I trust you with the timing of truth. I trust you to teach me when to speak and when to stay silent. I trust you to defend me without making me bitter. I trust you to restore me without making me proud. I trust you to elevate me without making me forget the humility this season formed in me. Type "I release it" in the comments if you just place something into God's hands. Drop "God has the case" below if you feel the weight of that transfer beginning to lift. Chosen one, feel the weight of that transfer. The case is not gone. It is just in stronger hands. The truth is not buried. It is just being held by the one who knows when to reveal, when to restore, when to separate, when to silence, and when to speak. You do not have to be the lawyer, the witness, the judge, and the wounded one, all at the same time. And now, I speak this over you. May every false word spoken over your name lose its power. May every room that mishandled your story be corrected by truth, timing, and divine wisdom. May every person who heard the wrong version of you encounter the evidence of your fruit. May every hidden motive be revealed without you becoming consumed by revenge. May every relationship that cannot honor your name be moved to its proper distance. May every voice that God did not assign to shape you lose its authority over your emotions. May your peace become stronger than their opinion. May your obedience become louder than their accusation. May your fruit become clearer than their confusion. May your life become the answer. God writes slowly, beautifully, and undeniably. You are not what they said. You are not the rumor. You are not the edited version. You are not the story told by someone who only saw you through their wound. You are the one God saw in secret. You are the one God protected when you wanted to react. You are the one God corrected without condemning. You are the one God strengthened when nobody knew how heavy the silence felt. You are the one God is still forming. And the life God writes in you is meant to write something in someone else. The seed you place into this mission through the link in the description or the pinned comment does not stay in your hand. It moves into what God is already preparing, for the one who needs this word at 2 a.m., for the one who has been carrying the wrong version of themselves for too long. What you release moves ahead of you. It always has. And I hear this in my spirit. Your name is not in their hands. It is in mine. So, let the rumor talk if it must. Let the rumor exhaust itself. Let the false version lose strength. Let the people who need truth find truth. Let the people who love confusion reveal themselves. Let the doors God opened remain open. Let the peace God gave you remain guarded. Let the fruit God is growing in you speak at the appointed time. You do not have to chase your reputation. You do not have to prove your heart to people who benefit from misunderstanding it. You do not have to reopen a case God has already taken. You only have to stay clean, stay steady, stay close to God. Speak when wisdom gives permission. Be silent when peace tells you to wait. Walk away when the room only wants your reaction. And keep becoming, because God heard what they said. He heard what you never said back. He heard the pain behind your silence. He heard the prayer you could barely form. He heard the part of you that wanted justice, but did not want to become cruel. And now He is fighting for you in ways you can see, and in ways you cannot see yet. Some defense will come through separation. Some defense will come through restoration. Some defense will come through unexpected favor. Some defense will come through peace that no accusation can steal. Some defense will come through fruit so undeniable that even the people who doubted you will have to face what God has done. So, leave the courtroom in your mind. Walk out of the argument. Stop rehearsing the speech. Stop carrying the file. Stop checking whether everyone finally understands. God understands. God heard. God saw. God knows. And that is enough for you to take the next step without fear. Write "God is defending me" in the comments. Type "I will stay silent" and watch if you are choosing to walk out of the mental courtroom and let heaven hold the case. Drop "Amen" and share this into the path of someone who needs it right now. You never know whose 2 a.m. this might reach. Walk away from the noise. Guard your peace. God has the case now.